Basically, any symptom you could possibly think of can come back to MTHFR. From brain fog, anxiety, bipolar, fatigue, infertility, there's so many things.
Welcome back to Keep It Good. I'm your host, Carly.
And I'm your host, Emily.
So today we're going to talk about mother effers.
Yes. Otherwise known as MTHFR, otherwise known as methylene tetrahydrofolate reductase.
Yeah, say that 3 times fast. What?
Yes, MTHFR definitely looks like mother effer.
And that is what it is.
It
Yeah.
kind of is. Yes, it is quite a gene mutation is what
Yeah.
it is.
Gene mutation, which we all probably have and has gone unnoticed, but we're here to kind of talk about it and shed some light.
Yeah, I feel like in the health space right now, there definitely is a lot of talk about it because it is more common and a lot of people do not know that they have it. And you're not going to get that on a regular test when you just go to get a physical. That's not like a common blood test.
Right. Yeah. Which I think our healthcare system needs to kind of redo their staples of blood tests because there's so much that we are missing that are going undetected that are causing all these other things like cardiovascular and when the root cause of it is this, like something as simple as a gene mutation. So I mean, you have it, Emily, and I probably have it. After listening to everything, I'm going to get tested myself. Explain to us what exactly this is.
Yeah, so basically it's a gene mutation, which I have two. As I understand it, means that I have one from my father and one from my mother. So
So you have 2 mutated genes.
correct. Yes.
Okay.
And I was basically tested because this is like going back like 14 years ago or so. I was doing CrossFit at the time, and the paleo diet is really big with the CrossFitters. It's like, no carbs, no sugar, no legumes. Really meat and vegetable kind of based diet. And I went in for a physical, and my APRN, who is amazing, is like, what else do you want me to test? And I said, you know what, my B12 was low, and she's always good about testing for extra things because B12 isn't always often tested in your basic blood work either. So always
Mhm.
ask for that. So she called me one night, like late, and I was like, oh no, what's wrong with my blood work? I was so nervous. And she's like, you need to come to the office tomorrow. I need to give you a B12 shot. And I was like, what? Why?
Oh.
And she's like, I don't know why you don't have any B12 because you should have plenty with how you're eating, all the leafy greens and the meat and protein and stuff. So we have to figure out why you have it. It's either like an autoimmune disease or it could be this gene mutation, which isn't really studied yet. She just kind of knew about it. Lo and behold, that's what I had was this MTHFR gene mutation. And she didn't even have a ton of information to give me on it. She literally printed me off paperwork from the CDC like website and was like, what I do know is, you don't process, like it makes you so you don't process like very well. So that I'm not getting any of the energy or the B vitamins, that I really need. And it can also cause very high homocysteine levels in the body, which can cause a lot of inflammation. And, I was 24 at the time. Like I was thinking I was living life pretty good. Like I didn't really know any different. I didn't have any of the symptoms of a B12 deficiency, which could be like bleeding gums. There's a bunch of things. I had none of it. Yeah, I was a little tired, but I had just opened my business. I had bought a home. I was very busy and active. I had a big social life. Like, I don't know. Of course, I'm a little tired. So, anyway, that prompted me to kind of dive deep. And there was one doctor that I started following, Dr. Ben Lynch, and he had a ton of information online, but he was kind of the only one. There were some blogs, and basically, like any symptom you could possibly think of can come back to MTHFR. From brain fog, anxiety, bipolar, fatigue, infertility. There's so many things. So
Yeah.
I just think it's a good idea to get tested for it, especially if you're having any kind of health issues, autoimmune issues. Just see if you have it. And then you'll know that you need to have methylated vitamins
Mhm.
because your body can't methylate them. Doesn't methylate properly.
A couple of other things that you could be experiencing is ADHD, bipolar, schizophrenia, hyperactivity, pain. Like you have a high pain threshold, that could be related as well. Sleep disorders, dry eyes, dry mouth, irritability, anxiety, depression, paranoia. If you have some serious reactions, hives or allergies from mosquitoes, um, increased blood histamine levels, if you have OCD, ODD, ASD. I mean, the list goes on and on. Frequent headaches, seasonal environment allergies, like addictive tendencies,
It's
even.
literally everything in life.
Yeah. So
Like,
that's why I'm like I was like looking at the list. I'm like, holy shit, I'm a motherfucker. Like
you're a motherfucker just like me.
I yeah, like, and I'm pretty sure my kids have it too with some of the things that are coming out. So I'm curious if my husband has it and they have a double
Right.
or, so I'm gonna definitely be adding that to their next blood test and to mine because I mean, we eat well, we do all the things, but if you don't know, you don't know.
Well, that's just it. So this is just a little dose of maybe this will give you some more insight if you knew you had it, or like, even if you're just taking vitamins, you're wasting your money because
Yeah,
your body's not even taking them in. You just need a different form of that vitamin. They
right,
need to be already methylated for you because your body can't do it.
right. So, yeah, there's no point in taking these if it's not gonna work, right? Like you said,
Right.
you're wasting your money on the B12.
And other multivitamins, like you can get a methylated multivitamin. So
So
it's already done for you.
I wonder if it just all like, in general, all things should be already methylated, Or
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know what the difference would be like if someone didn't have it, if it is good for your body to do it for you,
or if they
like to have
need
that
it that
process
way.
or yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. That's a
Hmm,
good question.
interesting.
Yeah, if you know, let us know.
Yeah. Let us know, please.
Yeah, I mean, especially so with that happening too, my APRN got me off of my birth control. So I was off it at a really young age. Um, I was not ready to have babies and wanted, I had no problems with being on it, but it can also cause a lot of cardiovascular things. So, like, it can cause blood clots, and that's a big one because so can birth control. So, it was, you know, they don't really want you on it because it could be like a doozy, if you're,
Shoot, I have a lot of blood clots when I have my period, like, more than oh
yeah.
god, I'm gonna self-diagnose myself right now. Huh.
Yeah, it's really crazy, and you could go down this deep dark rabbit hole too of this, but, like, when I was looking into it, like I said a long time ago, it was like the blogs were like, "Surviving with MTHFR," I was like,
Oh,
"Oh,
gee.
no, what do I have?" It just seems so dark and gloomy, and I feel like, in the past year or so, because I know what it is and I hear it a lot of other health podcasters and just health people that I follow on social media, it's really come up a lot and there's been a lot more research into it. And I think it's awesome because so many people really have it and have no clue. So
Yeah.
if you just change a couple things, you might be feeling like real good.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I love that they're starting to look at health in a new way, down to like, just down to like the cellular genetic level versus just saying, oh, you have high blood pressure and this, you must have this, and now
Right. Or
you're
like
not.
you have high blood pressure. Here's medicine for that.
Yeah. Instead
Like,
of realizing why you have high blood pressure and treating
correct.
that
Correct.
instead of here's your, losartan or whatever the hell lisinopril, whatever they want to pop into you. And then that causes more side effects. And you're never really treating what is causing the high blood pressure in the beginning.
Right.
So,
Well, and the methylation process helps the body basically, like I said, process B vitamins, folate. And folate is essential for like a lot of the body processes, including DNA synthesis and like cell repair and growth. So there's some talk with this with cancer too. Like if your cells are messed up and they don't know what to do, or, these mutated cells, or you hear talk about zombie cells and stuff, it's got to all be correlated.
yeah,
Like you want your cells to be clean and to repair when you need them to and to grow. And if you
yeah,
can't, your body can't do it. Why not know and fix it?
yeah. I feel like that should be just part of your annual physical, or like when you turn a certain age, from the pediatricians, like, why is that not in it? I feel like they look into all, like, the other types of blood tests. Why is this not included if this is so prevalent? I feel like they really need to add this into the basic panel, you know?
Yeah, so Googling, it basically says, like, 40% of, like, people globally have MTHFR.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people, but other people I've listened to, like, other people in the health space, they're saying it's even more than that. Because,
Of
of course,
course.
people also don't know they have it, so they're not, like, incorporated in that number. So, yeah, it's quite crazy.
Yeah. I wonder, like, if just us as a population in general are just leaning more towards that because of how our diet has gone, all these additives, all these hormones. I mean, everywhere you look, something is causing something. Even the lights we have on in our bedrooms. I feel like a lot of our genes are mutated now. So this could just be like the new way of living. Like maybe, like I said, we just need to get this into the generalized panel right off the bat. So then you're not living your life for 30 years like, oh, I'm so tired. I don't understand, more caffeine, more this, more that,
Yeah.
and nothing is working, nothing is touching it because you have no idea.
Well, and the diet is, part of it too because the processed foods, are so bad and that can put strain on the methylation process in your body. So, they really want you to take folate and also when you're pregnant, not folic acid, which is what they tell you to take. But if you're someone who has MTHFR as a pregnant woman, you that's doing nothing for you.
Yeah.
And you're taking that to protect against so many things for your baby. So if you know you have that gene and you're trying to get pregnant, you should be taking folate. And if you don't know you have it and you're taking folic acid, you're not protecting yourself or that child at all. Like from that, like if you're really big into taking your prenatals and all these things, see if you have MTHFR because that's a big one.
This
You're like,
makes
I don't
me
want my
so
baby to have that. I don't want my baby to have that. Of course, I'm going to take my folic acid. Well, yeah,
right.
but is it doing anything for you? Maybe not.
That makes me so angry because I've already been through 2 pregnancies where if I do have this, I did nothing to prevent anything for my kids, you
Well,
know?
and it's like, they came out fine. Like, if you have the gene, they're gonna have the gene,
Yeah.
but, like, just the process of making them healthier too, like, through
Yeah.
it, or God forbid something happen,
Yeah.
um, like, neurotubular disorder is, like, a big one. That's why they make you take the folic acid. But, I mean, this is it really is crazy. So, if you have any of those things that Carly said, um, like I said, the autoimmune stuff too, like fibromyalgia, lupus, there's so many different autoimmune diseases. It's linked to so many things.
Oh my god, I know. Cardiovascular disease, pregnancy
Right,
complications, mental health,
right.
chronic conditions.
Miscarriages,
Yeah. I mean,
it's
there's
so many things. Infertility, I mean, so many people are having that issue, which is so sad to me right now.
yeah.
So, it's a big one. And, like, once you go deep into, like, infertility, and you're seeing more doctors and more specialists, they will start testing you because they need to make sure that your genes and your husband's genes and everything are working right. That's what I've heard people say, like, that's how I found out I had MTHFR because we were going to, see specialists and then they do some of that work for you. So it has and was known. Like when I found out, my girlfriend also knew she had it, like maybe a year or two later because she was going through some of that.
Yeah. It just
So,
needs to be more known. So let's
yeah.
go over like some of the diets that can help, if you do have this or even just to try it if you're not going to get the blood test and just see if maybe the diet alone will help. So, I mean, starting off with just the vitamins,
Mhm.
vitamin B12 and B6, but they need to be the right form. So,
Yeah.
proper methylation is the only way that your body is going to be able to metabolize it and actually absorb it. So, like, what kind of vitamins do you buy?
So, 2 of my vitamins are from Thorne,
Yep.
which is a really reputable company. Take their methylated B vitamin, and then I take something called 5-MTHF. It's a 1 milligram pill. I take that actually at night with my magnesium. I'm not sure, but I read somewhere it should be taken at night, so that's kinda when I do that. And then I take something called trimethylglycine or
Mhm.
TMG, and I think the brand I'm using right now is Nutricost. So those are 3 big ones. Definitely ask your doctor, talk to them about that, and maybe they might suggest something else for you, but that's kind of what I found that's been working for me. I've been on that little cocktail for, like, maybe a year and a half.
Mhm.
But you for forever before that, I was just taking really just the methylated B.
Yeah, I think that's the crucial part.
Yeah.
But, like, so because it can cause high homocysteine in your body, you wanna aim towards a low homocysteine diet, so that's,
Yes.
high in leafy greens, beans, other folate-rich foods, which can help, uh, in conjunction with.
Yeah, and high homocysteine is not good. Like, it's bad because it can lead to, like, the blood clots and damage to your blood vessels, and that's what could lead to the heart attacks, the strokes, and even possibly dementia.
Yeah,
There's
everything
so
is
many things.
everything is connected. I mean,
So many things.
everything is connected. Your body is one working system. It doesn't work properly if one is affected.
Yeah, so if you also get tested and you have hyperhomocystinemia, it's a big one too, um, that's because you have high homocysteine levels, and you most likely have high homocysteine levels because of this gene.
Yeah, yeah. So
It's just crazy.
another thing you should be avoiding, which just in general I think society should be avoiding, is the high processed foods, the artificial additives, which can, strain the methylation process and your overall health. I mean, these things are just garbage. Get them out of your life. They're not doing anything for you. They're not I I mean, yeah, they taste great. Okay, that's great, but you need to like look at your body as a machine, and you're not going to put like a certain oil in your awesome car that's not meant for that car.
Right.
Like, your car's not going to run right. It's going to burn to the ground and like, oh, but it was cheap, or like I don't know, just no, your body is your temple. It's your only one you have. You have to try and make these changes now before it's too late.
Yeah. With the B12 vitamins too, check and make sure that if you're taking one, that it doesn't have cyanocobalamin. That's
Oh
like one
yeah,
ingredient they say to not have in your B12. So you wanna make sure that it's methylcobalamin. So,
methylcobalamin.
yeah, if you see that yours has the cyanocobalamin, you don't want that. So
Yeah,
just literally check it.
get rid
Not
of
good
it.
for you. Via Gary Brecka.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gary Brecka. Um, so yeah, geez, I could talk about this forever. But,
I know. So, have you heard of any like misconceptions or myths, like about this mutation that people kind of exaggerate, or like what are
yeah,
things that you found?
I think that it sounds scary because 'cause we're talking about your genes and, like, that's just your body, that's your makeup, that's not gonna be fixed. But what
Right.
you're doing is trying to assist it and give it, like, a leg up in the process of doing what it's supposed to do. So since it sounds so scary, a lot of people think like, "Oh my god, I'm so sick." And you could be at one point, and this could be part of your problem, but this isn't like a death sentence because you have it,
Oh no. No, no, no.
right? This is just, like, knowing,
Yeah, don't
like,
automatically think you're going to have a stroke because you're mutated genes,
correct.
right? Yeah.
I had no issues getting pregnant, even though I have 2 mutated genes. Like, there's not I was very worried about all this when I found out that I had it. And also doing all this, and if you're really good about taking the vitamins and eating well, you'll still never be, like, cured from this,
Right.
but you can assist it, like I said.
Yeah.
Um, it's almost like having, like, a break, like, in a stick, and, like, it's never gonna, like, be back together, but you can put it back together with some tape. That's, like, how I look at it. Like, I can mend it and,
Yeah.
like, get me through so my body processes things how I need it to, but, like, if I don't do it, then it's not gonna work, if
Right.
that makes
Yeah.
sense.
I mean, yeah, there is no cure, but there is manageability.
Yeah, and I think, it's not like, "Oh my god, I think, you have migraines, you should go get tested for this." It's not that, but if you're someone who's very interested in their health and you have a couple things you just are not sure why, especially some of those hard hitters, like the anxiety and depression, so many people have that. Like,
Well, that and that can also be linked to so many other things as
right,
well. So, like,
right.
could have this mutated gene, you do all the things, and you still, have depression and anxiety. Well, there could be other factors that you kind of need to look into, it just all goes back to like your gut. If you're trying to eat healthy, you're trying to feed your body well, then a lot of the symptoms should be eliminated. But it's a constant practice. I mean, I suffer from depression a lot, and it's a daily, and I'm just trying all the healthy things to do it right, But yeah, I mean, you look on my Instagram, you think my life is perfect. No, like I just highlight the good stuff because it's a reminder for myself. Like, yeah, no, life is not so bad. It's not, doesn't have to be so sad all the time. Um, but yeah, I mean, you have to try anything new. And maybe this is something new for you to look into if you do suffer from anxiety, depression, hyperactivity. Like I said in the Feingold diet, don't just run to Adderall or the stimulants. Your child could benefit from just a change in diet and possibly a different form of vitamins so that it can be controlled in a natural way. I don't think we just necessarily need to run to medicine all the time.
Yeah, no, and I guess bottom line is, make sure what you're taking is clean too. Do some research into your vitamins and make sure you don't have extra fillers in those brands that you're using. Like I said, Thorne typically is a very clean brand from what I've found and researched. So I really do like them. And I don't know, take the 5 MTHF for a month. Like
Mhm.
if you can't afford the test or you can't, or you're not getting to the doctor anytime soon or whatever, like I understand that too. Or just switch up if you're taking B vitamins, switch up and try the methylated, see if you feel a difference,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
I don't think you necessarily need to run and get the blood test if you don't
Right.
have a doctor's appointment, because who wants to pay an extra, copay if you don't have to? But yeah, like you said, you're just kind of experimenting with what you've already been taking, just in a different form. And then if it's working, well, then try the different diet. And if that seems to be working, then yeah, just get the confirmation. So then you could be like, okay, my kids probably definitely have this. Now
Right.
really reevaluate, and this could change your life. I mean, who I've been tired my whole life.
Yeah, there's some, going back to I keep saying like going back, but it's true because so many things keep popping up for me. But the processed foods, like anything that you eat that's enriched, is folic acid, actually. So,
Yeah.
like enriched pasta,
Mhm.
rice, cereal, like they basically have been sprayed. Like folic acid is not found in nature, as they say. So, like, there's no need for that to be on anything. And it's in so much stuff, mainly
Yeah.
starches. So, pay attention to that too. Even if you want to try a test with yourself or your children, don't give them cereal that has that in the morning and watch them be crazy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I feel like it's on
Um,
everything
it's
you
in
look at in
everything.
the
It's in
store.
bread and English muffins and, I mean, a
Everything.
lot more, I feel like breakfasty things. But just be aware, kind of peek at that. Like I said, with the rices and different
Flours,
starches.
like, take a look
Totally.
at your flour. You use flour for everything.
It's usually
Everything.
the first ingredient. I'm sure it has other names too, but anything enriched, it sounds like, ooh, that's good. I want the enriched version.
I know.
You do not. I don't care if you have MTHFR. Still don't get
Mm.
that.
Yeah.
So you have to be your own best advocate. Plain and simple. So now
Yep.
here's a little more insight into something else, and I feel good now that I'm taking all the things and not just the B vitamins. So do your research. Do your research. There's tons of stuff on Pinterest, obviously all over social media, X, Instagram, TikTok, like MTHFR is everywhere.
Yeah, thankfully, it's becoming more,
Yes.
aware,
Yes.
and hopefully the doctors get on board and we can detect these pretty early on in your life so you're not suffering for 20 years with fatigue, hyperactivity, all the things.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy you got it, like, pretty early on, you
I
know?
did. I did. I feel lucky, that my APRN was smart enough to suggest I even get tested for it.
Yeah.
She was kinda like, "Well, we'll test for the autoimmune diseases first. Like, let's see if you got those, and then it could be this. Why don't we just throw it in there?" And I was like, "Okay, whatever you think," and lo and behold, no autoimmune, but I had that. So,
Incredible.
yeah. So, thank you, Mary.
Yeah, thanks, Mary, and thanks, Emily, because now I'm gonna be testing myself. And I'm a nurse, and I don't even, like, learn about this in school. It's never
Yeah.
brought up in the hospital. It's never even been presented to me as, so that's a big red flag.
Well, even my
Healthcare.
mom's doctor, we just had this conversation. She's taking this B vitamin. She's never actually been tested, but I have the 2 genes. So I know I got one from my dad, one from my mom. And like I had, she knows about it. So I'm like, she just doesn't know because no one tells her. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I like to kind of give my parents some health stuff that I know about. But recently she was like, "Oh, I need to my prescription for my B12." I was like, "Your prescription for your B12? Well, why do you need a prescription for it?" And she's like, I don't know. So I look at it. It's not at all what she should be taking. It's a prescription too. Her doctor's prescribing it, which I think is weird.
yeah,
So I was like, you ask him. You need to ask him to get a test just so you can know for positives, like,
yeah.
and just so it's in your file. But I was just shocked. Like, and the symptoms that she has high blood pressure and all these different things. I'm like, you are not on a methylated B12? Like, you're kidding me. Or B vitamin? That's insane.
Again, you trust the
If it's not
doctors.
taught, they don't
Mhm.
know, so
Yeah, it needs to be taught in medical school. It needs to be taught everywhere, elementary school even. Like, you could be detecting a lot of things right from the get-go, It's just aggravates me. Healthcare aggravates me, and I'm a nurse, but what are you gonna do, right? Alright, so I think we're gonna wrap up with this perfect little quote that we found, and it's awesome. So it goes, "Your genes might set the stage, but you can still control the performance." I
Love it.
love I love that too. Like, I love it.
Right. Like we said, you're
You
your own best advocate.
absolutely. So if you feel anything and doesn't seem right, either try the B vitamin or just go out and get the blood test. I mean, what do you got to lose, right?
Agreed.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you have a really good week. And as always, keep it good.